My name is Briana. I'm 24 years old. I am a single mother. I have a beautiful daughter. Her name is Ariana. She is 5 years old. My daughter is a very smart, loving kid with a big heart. I love everything about her. My daughter is open minded. She always wants to learn and try new things. Me and my daughter, favorite things to do together is arts and crafts, going outside, playing in the snow. We love to involve ourselves in outdoor activities. We do a lot of things together. We like trying different things too. My childhood was just taken away from me. I'm diagnosed with PTSD, so I struggle a lot with that. I've actually dealt with that my whole life. I went through sexual abuse by my stepfather for like 10 years. And I also was being physically and mentally abused by my mother. And then I had my biological dad that was in and out of my life. He was a crack addict. So, the last time that I saw my real father was when I was 12 years old. There's just been a lot of hurtful things that I went through with those three people. I was in a domestic violence situation and it wasn't safe for me and my daughter. We were going from shelter to shelter. And eventually, I just decided it was time for a change for me and my daughter and to leave everything and start a new life. And that's what I did. I moved to Boston because of domestic violence and looking for a new life and better safety for me and my daughter. The hardest thing about becoming a mom was not having any support at that time. It was my first kid and I was 17 years old. I didn't know anything about being a parent. I didn't know how to birth my baby. I didn't know when she was hungry or when she needed to be changed. And, that was a really hard time for me because it was just me and Ariana. I didn't have no one to look up to or ask questions when it came to me not knowing what to do at the time for my kid. It was really hard learning it all by myself. I feel like I've been judged. It comes from family, DCF, and people. One day, I went to work, Ariana had these marks on her legs. I was confused that morning of where the marks came from. I still sent her to school that day because she seemed fine and I had to go to work. And when I went to work, I got a call from my DCF worker saying that they were going to remove my child from me because of a child abuse. It was hard because when she got removed out of the home, I had to pull myself together mentally. If I didn't do that, I would have never got her back. I just had to snap into reality. I had to do all these things that they asked me to do, even if it was taking on an extra parenting class, even though I have parenting class at Roca. I just honestly feel like I already had a lot of services. Like they expected me to see a therapist, get in-home services for Ariana, continually stay at Roca, stay focused and doing my goals every day as far as making it to work and doing my GED, parenting. There hasn't been times where I felt like this is just too much for me and I'm overwhelmed, but I can't say that I've ever felt like giving up because, my daughter was in the foster care system and, I was doing anything and everything to get her back. When COVID happened, I wasn't able to see Ariana because my daughter has asthma and the foster mom, she's elderly. She's 60 years old. So she had a lot of health problems and stuff like that. So it was hard having to see her through Zoom all the time. And it was not just like, this is going to be a little bit, like this happened for months. Roca, that was the biggest support for me. If it wasn't for me being involved, I don't know what I would have done. I felt like, Roca opened doors for me. And Roca was there, very supportive. They helped me get through my situation at the time. Kept me busy. You guys kept me in work. You guys did everything from parenting classes to working to trying GED. I was able to get out of the house and focus on things that needed to be worked on. I just have more of a positive mind frame and more at ease with Roca. When I started working on CBT, I felt like it's done a lot of things for me, like where I'll catch myself doing something like think, feel, do, and you won't even know that you're doing it, but you like those CBT skills. It's just like mentally appeared in your brain. If that's the best way to explain it, like you'll catch yourself like when you do the CBT classes, you don't think you're getting anything out of it, but then when you're outside of Roca and you're in a situation, you catch those CBT skills that you was doing at Roca. When I finally found out that I was getting her back, it was just so much happiness. I felt like this so much weight lifted off of my shoulders. I was proud of myself too. I was very proud of myself of how I carried myself throughout that whole year because I stayed mentally strong throughout that whole time. I feel like I'm living in fear right now because I got my daughter back, and I feel like if there's any little thing that messes up or slips up, it falls back on me or she could be taken away from me. Especially when, being a young mother and still trying to learn. Like, it's hard because Ariana's back home. She's been home for, I think, 8 months now. And she comes home, she's been through a lot in this process too. There's a lot of things that have changed about her, from her behavior to her needs and everything. So I'm trying to balance these two things out, but I also try to put in my head to be a perfect mother too. I just think like my fear right now is just the system. It's always been the system. I would want to see everything change about the system. First off, understanding parents, not judging them, understanding the situation, be more understanding of the how much a person can handle. They don't have to force a lot of services and a lot of things for a person to do in the time that a person is still trying to like mentally handle this up every day because they're kids in the system. Being mindful of people's mental health and what they can handle at the time. Just not overloading things on them and putting pressure. I'm still trying to figure myself out, but I do eventually want to have a career. I don't want to work a minimum wage job all my life. I want to have a good paying job, a good job that I love to do that involves helping others. And then Ari, I want everything to be good for her, her school, home, support, all of these things.